तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji, so much. Hare Krishna. Yes, Ram Girdhari Prabhu, over to you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We are so fortunate to hear from you again today. Hari Bol.
Thank you so much. So before we start our discussion, I'll just chant the small prayer from Krishnashtakam. So we are going to discuss about some stories and pastimes of Krishna. So Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Atasi Pushpasankasham Haranupurashobhitam Ratnakankanakeyuram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Kutilalakasamyuktam Purnachandra Nibhananam Vilasat Kundaladaram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mandara Samyuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam Barhi Pinchava-chudangam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Utfulla Padma Padraksham Neelajimuta Sannibham Yadavanam Shiroratnam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Rukmini Keli Samyuktam Pitambara Sushobhitam Avapta Tulasi Gandham Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Gopikanam Kuchadvantam Kunkumangita Vakshasam Sriniketam Maheshwasam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shrivatsangam Mahorashtam Vanamala Virajitam Shankachakradharam Devam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnashtakamidam Punyam Prataruttaya Yaf Patet Koti Janma Kritam Papam Smaranena Vinashyati Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu नित्यं भागवत सेवयां भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी सर्वशास्त्राब्धिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्प्रदा सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिद्वान्तोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तिता परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमावर्षक्षरायते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोस्तुते मदेकबन्धो मत्सङ्गीं मद्गुरो मन्महादनां मन्निष्कारक मद्भाग्य मदानन्दा नमोस्तुते असाधु साधु तादायन्नति नीचोचताकराम् आनामुञ्चा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्णा हृत्कण्ठयोस्फुराम् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयां चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. As always, it's my pleasure to be in the assembly of devotees, and such a privilege of being in the assembly of devotees to speak Srimad Bhagavatam is something very, very fortunate as a part of Panchanga Bhakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies, recommends, as well as he demonstrates by his own action all the angas of devotional service that he has recommended. So you all have been very nicely, systematically studying Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the prayers of different personalities. As we spoke last week about the different categories of personalities, and we spoke about how there are 5 types of people and 4 types of consciousness level, and we also spoke about how in our devotional journey we need to grow ourselves up, and we did some soul stirring conversation so that whenever we read prayers we are to understand that they are meant for us. Of course, as a matter of service, we pray for others, but here this context, whenever we try to learn these prayers, so we are praying for our own proper positioning in Krishna consciousness. So we are going to discuss Muchukunda's prayers today and tomorrow. So as always, what we will do is that we will read the prayers and translation, and then along with the storyline, let's try to learn some lessons for us. Story is very simple, but the essence, underlying message is something is very scientific, as well as it has got a very strong message for all of us. And Krishna has always has his tricks and plans to do whatever he is doing. So let's churn this nectar as we are entering to the pastimes of Muchukunda. So the prayer of Muchukunda, exact set of prayers, actually starts from verse number 45. It goes all the way till 57. So we will just read them and get the context of the prayers. Then we'll go to the background. As we discussed last week, integrated with the storyline, we will learn some lessons. Right from Jarasandha's attack to how the king, who actually, as I said last week, Krishna, kind of afraid. He showed the scene of he's running away from Kalayavana. So Kalayavana thought for some time that Krishna is afraid of me. So what is that, what is the reason? How eventually Krishna had a message or a plan behind that. So that all pans out today and tomorrow's discussion. Whenever such serious conversations happens, somehow I have been very slow in my and I would say that my progression in my congregation, we did Vritrasura's pastime for 1.5 years. So the entire pastime of Vritrasura, we did close to 60-70 sessions. So the reason I'm saying this is not for some self glorification. Prithu Maharaj, we did it for almost 2 years. Vritrasura, we did for 1.5 years. And so the science of Krishna consciousness has got its depth. So probably, in our conversation, I may sound like I'm going slow, or I may, slightly delaying it, but somewhere we can enjoy. There is so much of nectar in every point. So even though we are not able to go in a pace that otherwise you should have been going, but still we are learning some lessons. So that way, that's the purpose of our, exercise that we are currently doing. The reason why we are all gathered here is, meant for that. Okay, so I will go to directly verse number 45. Shri Muchukunda Uvacha Vimohitoyam Janaisha Mayaya Kadiyaya Tvam Nabhajatyanartadrik Sukaya Dukkha Prabhaveshu Sajjate Griheshu Yoshit Purushascha Vanchita. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sri Muchukunda said, O Lord, the people of this world, both men and women, are bewildered by your illusory energy, unaware of their real benefit. They do not worship you, but instead seek happiness by entangling themselves in family affairs, which are actually sources of misery. We will not read all the verses today. I will read only maybe a few verses, so that we don't. Tomorrow also we might read. So from 45 to 50 we will read, and 50 to 51 to 57 we will read tomorrow. Labdva jano durlabhamatra manusham katanchidavangyam ayantnato nagham Padaravindam na bhajatyasan matir grihanda kupe patito yata pashu. That person has an impure mind who, despite having somehow or other automatically obtained the rare and highly evolved human form of life, does not worship your lotus feet. Like an animal that has fallen into a blind well, such a person has fallen into the darkness of a material home. My goodness. Amazing, amazing. Mamaisha kalo jita nishpalo gato rajashiyonad madasya bhupate martyatma buddhe sutadara koshabush asajjamanasya duranta chintaya. I have wasted all this time, O unconquerable one, becoming more and more intoxicated by my domain and opulence as an earthly king, misidentifying the mortal body as the self, becoming attached to children, wives, treasury, and land. I suffered endless anxiety. Text number 48. Kalevaresmin gatakudya sannidhe nirudhamano naradevat ityaham vrutorate bhashva padatyanikapair gamparyatam stvaganayam sudurmala durmadha. With deep arrogance, I took myself to be the body, which is a material object like a pot or a wall, thinking myself a god among men. I traveled the earth surrounded by my charioteers, elephants, cavalry, foot soldiers, and generals, disregarding you in my deluding pride. Text number 49. Paramatpamuchair iti kritya chintaya pravriddalobam vishayeshu lalasam tvam apramatta sahasabhi padyase shule lihanohir ivakum antaka. A man obsessed with thoughts of what he thinks needs to be done, intensely greedy, and delighting in sense enjoyment, is suddenly confronted by you, who are ever alert, like a hungry snake licking its fangs before a mouse. You appear before him as death. Puraratairhema parishkrutaischaran matam gajairva naradeva samhitam sa eva kalena duratyayena te kalevaro vid krimibashma samhitam. The body that at first rides high on fierce elephants or chariots adorned with gold and is known by the name king is later by your invincible power of time called feces, worms, or ashes. Oh my goodness. So we will end here. Till this verse we will discuss along with some part of the storyline. So the story goes like this. Krishna finished off Kamsa. Krishna eventually, Mathura has been given back to the father of Kamsa. And in the process, Krishna finally was challenged by Kamsa's longtime friend, Jarasandha. There is a very unique lesson or a principle of Jarasandha is something very much relevant to the people of Kali Yuga. So we will start our lessons from here. As I said, we will learn the story and entertain with lessons. So storyline will go on its own, but let's follow the lessons because storyline is anyway storyline we will learn and enjoy. Let's grab onto the lessons. So what is such an interesting aspect of Jarasandha? The interesting aspect of Jarasandha is that he always thought he still has some upper hand and he can still make it. He always thought that this time I failed, next time I will not fail. He always thought that Krishna is an ordinary boy and I am a powerful king. He always thought that how come I, being a Kamsa's man, one who ruled the entire universe, entire world, kept all the demigods at bay, that person can challenge, I am his man, who can challenge me? Jarasandha always thought that it's just some temporary slippage. I'm still very powerful. One of the reason, if you go back to our last week's lesson, we spoke about Nirjala Ekadashi, keep that aside, that's anyway a separate one. But the one that we spoke about, introduction to Muchukunda prayers, the reason why we analyzed 5 types of men, 4 types of consciousness level, is to map it here and see the Jarasandha mentality within ourselves. What is Jarasandha mentality within ourselves? Somebody who has failed 17 times. I would want to draw a parallel. It's a very interesting parallel. Asura, who is doing repeated try, a self-realized soul who is going to do a repeated try. One is condemned, second one is glorified. Ramanujacharya, from Srirangam to Tirukkostiyur, he tried 18 times. Ramanujacharya was keeping Srirangam as the headquarters. He traveled from Srirangam to Tirukkostiyur to meet his spiritual master, Goshti Purna. Goshti Purna every time told Ramanujacharya, not now, next time. Not now, next time. Not now, next time. Srirangam to Tirukkostiyur is itself around 130, 140 kilometers. Maybe 100 kilometers, let's say. Plus minus anywhere. And with whatever facilities they had in those days, to come and go is not a joke. More so, the coming and going is for self-realization, which is volunteer. Surrender, which means I am ready to serve you, which is all the more volunteering. And third, nobody is expecting you, forcing anything on you. It is not your, day-to-day, lifestyle matter. So which means it is by our own choice. One person takes it up. And in that, if somebody is trying to show, quote unquote, denial or rejection, a person may accept a rejection for once or twice. Then all our so-called modern children, what will they say? We will change the school, we'll change the teacher, we'll change the methodology, we'll change the process. Why to break your head with the same guy? If he doesn't want to accept me, so be it. So I have my self-esteem, I have this, I have that. This is one story. Second, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj approaching to Gaurakishore Das Babaji Maharaj. How many times he went? Multiple times he went. Multiple times Gaurakishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, I cannot initiate you. He all the way decided to go back to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and said that you told me to take initiation from him, but I am being rejected by him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, that's not my problem. Something that is in you, which is, a problem. So you have to better figure it out. So finally, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj has to take an extreme step that I will jump off into Ganges if you don't accept me as your disciple. Not threatening, but pleading, please accept me. Otherwise, I feel my life is unworthy. So I will as well kill. This is a devotional trait. Look at Jarasandha and Ravana and all these demons. How many times Kamsa failed? Right from Putana's time till the last one, Aristasura, every time he failed. Every time he told, oh, maybe this guy would have failed in this manner, I'll send another one. I'll send another one. And interestingly, he had his friends who gave him confidence. Oh, that guy must have, fizzled out. I will go. That guy must have fizzled out. I will go. That guy must have fizzled out. I will go. Bhagavatam says, Punav, Punav, Charvita Charvananam. In this material world, the nature of this material world is chewing the chewed. So we constantly chew the chewed. We are not, still realizing that I am actually chewing some, sweetless, tasteless, purposeless bubble gum. I have still not figured out, why somebody is chewing them all the day. Since even as I was a small young boy, I never enjoyed chewing bubble gum, because it'll have some taste for maybe 3 minutes. After the taste is gone, you have to just like a sand ki tarah chabate rahenge kehte hain na, like a cow or an oxen. We keep we're just moving our lips and moving our jaws for no purpose. And Srimad Bhagavatam says the nature of this material world is that which does not have any rasa, that which does not have any nutrition value, that which does not have anything to be done. And if you are wasting your time in this, what is the value? But Jarasandha, here, what he did, he tried to attack Krishna 17 times. So in the 17 times, every time Krishna defeated him, and the very next time he used to come with much stronger strength. So, and each time his armies were totally destroyed. So when Jarasandha was finally desiring to attack on the 18th time, a warrior named Kalayavana, who had been searching for a worthy opponent, was sent by Narada Muni to fight the Yadavas. So why Narada Muni? Because there is a subsequent glories there. So with 30 million soldiers, Kalayavana came to Yadava's capital. So Lord Krishna looked upon this attack with concern, for he knew that with Jarasandha's arrival imminent, there was a serious danger that the simultaneous attack of these two enemies might endanger the Yadavas. Therefore, the Lord constructed a wonderful city within the sea as a safe haven for the Yadavas, and he brought them all there by his mystic power. So Krishna set up a wonderful fort. He safeguarded everyone into that fort so that everybody is safe. And Krishna had a interesting plan to fight it out. So my first lesson is where Jarasandha kept on failing, Ravana kept on failing, Kamsa kept on failing. They never learned a lesson from that, and they still thought that they will be victorious over the Supreme Lord. Even though whether they accepted Krishna as Supreme Lord or not, they thought they will be successful in their trial every time. So Srila Prabhupada says, in this material world, which he classifies as Pavarga. So we are going to learn a technicality name called Pavarga and Apavarga. Pavarga means, if you know Hindi, pa pa va pa pa va pa pa va ba ma. So there are 5 words. So this Pavarga, each of these words contain some explanation. So Srila Prabhupada is very nicely explaining both in Kunti Stuti, Laws of Nature, Srimad Bhagavatam. So in several places, so Srila Prabhupada is giving a wonderful explanation on what is Pavarga and Apavarga. He writes how Apavarga is opposite to Pavarga, which is anything that is spiritual is Apavarga, anything that is material is Pavarga, in which each and every word represents one characteristics, features of us. What is Pa? The first Pa refers to Parishram. Parishrama means endeavor. It refers to somebody who is doing a very hard labor. A very hard labor where a person does not have no sense of discrimination, and in Hindi we say gada ki tarah दौड़ते रहते हैं, like a donkey we just go. So parishrama is the first step. Anybody who is in this material paradigm, he constantly does this parishrama. The reason these lessons are in going to substantiate our prayers of Muchukunda also. The prayers that we read today is also whatever sloka number 45 to 50 that we read today is also resonating this reflection of Muchukunda. So parishrama is something that everyone goes through in this material world, very hard labor, and without realizing dhodte rahe, running for nothing. So Prabhupada says, what is the natural result of parishrama is fena. Fena means foam in the mouth. Prabhupada gives an example when the horse goes on running. The horse develop foam in the mouth. So this foam in the mouth is a natural result of anyone who is doing a very hard labor. So in our nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswami says, Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyamcha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. So this atyahara, prayasa, these are the two things which are associated with parishrama. Over endeavoring, over collecting, and over lamenting. These are all classified as a part of parishrama. Prabhuji, are we not supposed to, work instead of just keeping quiet? We are supposed to work, but we are so much working in such a manner that we are trying to squeeze juice out of a bamboo. The example that is given is a bamboo stick and sugar cane may look alike, but instead of a sugar cane, if you try to squeeze this bamboo, what juice will come? The net result is fena, frustration, foam in the mouth. Fena is foam in the mouth. Oh my God, yeah, I will take it. We will do it. Very soon we will do it. That's what our so-called scientists and so-called, materials, abhi ho jayega. Jaldi abhi ho jayega. Especially, I'm sorry to say this, in business world, we keep dodging. If you know the reality, raw material hi nahi karida rahega. He will give on deadlines. Prabhuji, next week, Wednesday, delivery mil jayega. If we go into an inspection, they would have not even placed order for raw material. So next week, Wednesday, you will get a new date. For the following week, Wednesday. Then following Wednesday. We keep on shifting our goalpost. Abhi ho jayega. There's a very wonderful rumor. Of course, whether it is rumor or not rumor, I do not know. So this is about Walt Disney. Walt Disney had a very strong attachment to himself. He loved it. So he didn't want to die. And he's damn filthy rich. So he called the topmost scientist of the world and said, hey guys, I will fund you as much as you ask, but make sure I should not die. So the scientist said, don't worry, sir. We will do a research. Since you are ready to fund, we will, find a medicine by which you will not die. So he pumped in maybe $10 million. Of course, if you go to Walt Disney and Google about this, they'll say this is a rumor. So even if it is a rumor, just for a story to learn a lesson, it's a very wonderful lesson. I do not want to do the validity of this. So, but Radhanath Maharaj is mentioning about this in one of his, Radhanath Maharaj or Gauranga Prabhu, somebody is mentioning in one of his lectures. So even as a rumor or not rumor, we will refer this to learn certain lesson. So these scientists, they took money and they were researching. Every time when you ask for a status report, they say that no, it's just happening. Very soon we will come. Very soon. We're almost there. Clinical trial is going on. 15 rats are died and 17th one is surviving. So we'll give some story or some report because their experiment is on rat and monkeys, and third is human being. Now COVID, there is no rat, there is no monkey, directly on human being. So anyway, the point is they were going on giving responses. Then one fine day, Walt Disney's health got so much deteriorated. So he finally called the scientists and said, "Hey guys, I gave you damn $10 million. I'm going to die. You know, what are you going to do?" So they said, "Sir, don't worry. Even if you die, we will preserve your body, and the medicines that we are working on will revive you from there. So hence, you give instruction to your family not to bury you, just keep you in the cold box." So this guy got overexcited, so that even if I'm going to die, they're going to give me medicine and bring me back to life. And this story got over. So now after Walt Disney left this body, naturally, the wealth were all distributed, and they all had family had batwara kar liya sab. Now, jin jinno ko paisa mila, all those next generation who got their wealth, now they are in anxiety. If Walt Disney come back to life, what will happen to all the money that we received? So now they called the scientists and said, "They go, stop your research, and how much ever money you want, I will give you." So this guy said, "To stop the research, give me $5 million. So these guys took 10 million ransom. Upar said to stop the research, they took more money. And finally, what happened? Sabko mama banaya hai. They made everyone else bunch of fools and idiots. So one group of people, they want to survive. Another group of people want us to die. And this material world is going on like this. And we are doing a hard labor for our survival. So Fena, Prabhupada says that just like a horse out of heavy labor. Third is Bha. Bha means Bayartata, disappointment. What is the net result? I'm not getting sugar cane juice because I took bamboo. Another example is given that goat's foreskin on the neck. A goat used to have two extra growth skin. It looks like the breast of the goat. If somebody tries to milk from there, you can't get milk. You can get milk only from the breast of the goat, and that too for an appropriate time. So our materialistic endeavor can never give happiness. Can never give happiness. That is why you go and ask anyone's dying declaration, unless that person is stupid, really, having like a Walt Disney type of brain where he wants to, come back to life. But otherwise, in general, at the deathbed, they have some realization. But the realization is sometimes weird also. One lady has written a will that all my wealth will be, utilized to take care of the dog that I have brought up. I mean, so सारे दुनिया लोगों से कम से कम हम वो कुत्ता बने उनके घर पे. So people started to desire that let me become dog of such a multi-millionaire house rather than being a human being in that place. So the fate is life definitely does not give, especially materialistic life does not give satisfaction, because the one who has designed it has said you can't get happiness. Dukkhalayam asashvatam. He has made it very clear that this material world cannot give you happiness. It is like somebody expecting fragrance from a washroom. You may put some artificial, disinfectant, artificial some stuff, but a washroom is meant to finish your duties and come out. But what is modern civilization's endeavor? To make the washroom experience glorious. So they keep TV there, they keep telephone there, they keep newspaper there. Next is only tiffin is not only served there. Rest everything is done there. And to be very honest, some people will get motion only when they read newspapers, when they smoke cigarette. Sab kuch suvidha hai wahan. So what used to be called in our Vedic days, for Vedic days, the passing of stool is also regulated. Because according to Vedic civilization, if you pass stool, you are supposed to take bath. So you look at how the Vedic days house structuring is. Toilet is somewhere, way behind the house. Because it is not clean place, people used to go there. And every time people have to go there, it's an endeavor. So their eating habit, their sleeping habit, their digestive system, everything is so regulated. That is why a Brahmana is clean. How he is clean? Not just by taking bath in some flavored soap. He's clean by his consciousness, he's clean by his practices, and he's clean by his system, internally and externally. So the message here is that this material world will only give disappointment. You cannot expect fragrance from a filthy place. You cannot get happiness within a jail. It may be called a first-class jail, but you are still in the jail. So Prabhupada writes, pa, pha, bha. Bha is bayar tata, which means disappointment. In spite of such a hard labor, at the end, we find disappointment. What is the fourth stage? Is bha. Bha is baya, fear. So naturally, we are forced to be afraid of, we get so much afraid of our own existence, on what is going to happen. Every time, padam, padam, yatti padam, we keep fearing about our next stage of fear. Fear is the biggest component for us to, die sooner than the plan. Many people, they are always surviving on fear. And Prabhupada says the last is ma. Ma is mrityu. Because of the fear, one day die. So my first reflection is that reflection of how to elevate ourselves from the spa varga mode to apa varga mode. Jarasandha, by his behavior, he had demonstrated mentality of pa varga, which means hard labor, fena, bayartata, bhaya, and mrityu. All the five happened to Jarasandha. So he did a hard labor by 17 times attacking Krishna. Every time all his army got defeated. He got so much, frustrated, so much foam. So much of every time going and coming back and attacking. And he got disappointment because he never won Krishna. And finally developed fear, and eventually he died. And on the contrary, Krishna, every time when he was playing with Jarasandha, he had fun. As he was playing with Krishna, as he was playing with Jarasandha, he was enjoying his moments to enjoy. So Prabhupada writes, the purport of 7.13.25, human life, which is obtained in the course of the evolutionary process, is a chance for elevation, swarga pavarga, or for the degradation. If one uses this human form of life properly, he can elevate himself to the higher planetary systems, where material happiness is many thousands of times better than on this planet. Or one may cultivate knowledge by which to become free from the evolutionary process and be reinstated in one's original spiritual life. This is called apavarga, or liberation. So at least to the barest minimum, we need to get, devotion has got several stages. At least to the barest minimum, we get to the stage of understanding that I cannot be committing sinful activities. I cannot be leading my life only on materialistic pleasure. These two things have to be eliminated. Yesterday night, I was giving a Chaitanya Charitamrita class from 18th chapter of Antya Leela. Very esoteric, section of Antya Leela. We were analyzing how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his manifested Leela, he has exhibited different stages of emotions, and in that we learned some lessons. One of the points we mentioned was that we, in our external consciousness, when we are in our external consciousness, when we are with our colleagues, when we are with our relatives, when we are with our neighbors, when we are with our friends who are not devotees, we are a completely different person. When we are devotees, we are a different person. We have this multiple personality disorder. So we need to fix that part if at all we want to move forward in Krishna consciousness. So Jarasandha's trying to attack Krishna, even though that happens to be the basis of this particular storyline of Muchukunda pastime, and Muchukunda's prayer happens to be in this line. So my first reflection is that let us understand what is Pavarga, and we should definitely not subscribe, be party to such a Pavarga. We should rather try to work in a manner to go out of the Pavarga mode and get into Apavarga mode. So the conclusion of first reflection on number one, Pavarga to be avoided. Number two, we should work in such a manner that we are never party to materialistic life, sinful life, offensive life, and life that which is where we are just again and again chewing the chewed. And the third and most important aspect of the first reflection is that this human form of life where we are supposed to ask questions. If we ask intelligent, relevant questions to our own selves, we will be able to come out of this Pavarga mode. This idiot Jarasandha kept on fighting, kept on coming back, kept on regrouping. Even after several warnings, like Ravana, even after several warnings, the Lord personally gave assurance, please don't, fight again, don't come back, I will protect you. You just give back Mother Sita. Lord Ramachandra gave an assurance. What all assurance he gave? I will stand by you. I will completely, forgive you, free you from all the offenses that you did so far. But Ravana didn't relinquish. So that is the propensity that we should be careful about. This is my first reflection. And incidentally, in our prayer of Muchukunda, that is where he is starting. He's saying, oh Lord, the people of this world, both men and women, are bewildered by illusory energy. Unaware of the real benefit, they do not worship you, but instead seek happiness by entangling themselves in family affairs, which are actually source of, misery. This is the first prayer that Muchukunda is coming. We'll talk about who is Muchukunda as a part of this, this discussion today and tomorrow. But at least let's look at the message here. The message is what we just spoke as a first reflection. So I used to give this formula. I will end this first reflection at this point. The formula that I taught to my students is a formula of YLER. Because when we are in Pavarga to Apavarga, we need to have some methodology to come. How I move from Pavarga mode to Apavarga mode. What is YLER? You yearn to learn and earn and return. Today, what is happening is L and R are missing in the society. I yearn to earn. You go and ask anyone what they want to study. They want to study which will yield more salary. Why they want to study? Which will give a better job, lot of salary. Anybody, they would have not gone to engineering college properly, but they would want, sir, I am an engineer. So nowadays, I want to ask you, are you an engineer during COVID era or pre-COVID or post-COVID era? Because those who passed engineering during COVID, all of them are MCQ engineers. They are hardly gone to college. They would have hardly touched an apparatus. They would have hardly done an experiment. They would hardly know what engineering is all about. So anyway, coming back to the point is, yearn. You need to yearn to learn first. Yearn to learn. Then with the learning and earn. And then return. This is called social cycle. Because Prabhupada writes in the purport, he says he has advanced spiritually. Muchukunda immediately makes it clear that he is not going to ask the Lord for material blessings. He has advanced spiritually far beyond those who try to exploit religion for all kinds of material benefits. Artha means value. And the negation of this word anartha means that which is valueless or useless. Thus the term anartha drik indicates that whose vision is focused on valueless things, who have not understood actual artha or value, is all that glitters is not gold, And Muchukunda here emphatically states that we should not ruin our spiritual chances by entangling ourselves in the fool's gold of bodily relationships. We are meant to love the Lord. The entire purport of study. But the message is superb clear. So YLER is our focus. I yearn to learn and earn and return. The reason why I'm saying I'm ready to earn, because it's part of, especially those who are in Grahastha Ashrama, you're allowed to earn. You're the only ashrama where we can officially make our livelihood. We can deal with money, we can exchange money, we can do trade, economy. All of these things are part of our social ecosystem. But in the social ecosystem, if we have removed learning and returning, we only yearn for earn, yearn to earn, yearn to earn, yearn to earn. And where is the end? There is no end to it. That is why the next 2 verses later, it's saying greediness is kicking into the life of such people. So Prabhupada very nicely says, Artha versus Anartha. It is Artha so long as we put in money on useful things or we work on useful things. Anartha means we spend on useless things. My second reflection, we are still with, now Kala Yavana. So Kala Yavana, what is he doing is, he is, wanting to fight with Krishna because he's looking at somebody who is very powerful, whom he can, really chase. So Krishna decided, because Krishna made sure that all his citizen members are very safely housed within the fort. Krishna made this Dwaraka fort in the middle of the sea, and he made sure that all the inhabitants are very safely, kept over there. And Krishna decided to go to Mathura because Jarasandha's army is coming there to attack him. So when he is going to Mathura, so Mathura, when Krishna enters, is always so wonderful. So Kala Yavana, one of the powerful soldiers of Jarasandha. So this guy, he wants to challenge Krishna because he is coming to, according to the will of Providence, he is the one who's been searching for a worthy opponent to fight. Who is the most worthy opponent for anyone? Krishna is the most powerful one. So he finally came, and Kala Yavana is looking at Krishna's beauty, Krishna's effulgence. So seeing that the Supreme Lord did not have any weapons because Krishna came without weapons, Kala Yavana put his own weapons aside and ran towards Krishna. This is one thing that we can appreciate, that in Vedic era, even though they were fighting, they had some moral codes of functioning. Even in Mahabharat war was going on, every day morning till evening, till sunset, they both were fighting. And in the evening, they were all in the same camp. Maybe same set of cooks or maybe same set of venue, I do not know. But they were not fighting. They knew fighting means during the morning time, this is such and such place, such and such mechanism. This is I call for a fight, I call off the fight for the day. Not that, we say in Hindi, Gaddari nahi kiye. They don't backstab you. They don't, of course, Duryodhana did several such things in his own personal capacity. But once it is a declared war, when it is all publicly happening, his image, his credibility is to be very well questioned if he does something of that sort of backstabbing. So they maintain some decorum, they maintain some functioning. So similarly, we see that how Kala Yavana, when he saw Krishna armless, weaponless, let me say that. Krishna was weaponless, so he kept aside his weapons and started chasing towards Krishna. And what did Krishna do? Krishna also ran away from Yavana. So Krishna started to run. So this Kala Yavana thought, wow, now Krishna is afraid of me. Oh my God, Krishna is afraid of me, which means I am superior, I am better, I am someone who is um, who is having an upper hand. So this so the Supreme Lord is trying to play with Kalayavana, and also because we know the story ahead, he is trying to eventually go to the cave where Muchukunda is there. So Krishna kept on running and staying just barely arm's length from Kalayavana. Prabhupada explains in several places the so-called materialist, the so-called demons, the so-called educated men, it is like I'm not sure if anyone of you have got experience in your family who is to play lottery. Okay. In our family, we have somebody who had this habit of lottery. These people with the habit of lottery ticket, what happens? They'll buy for 500 rupees. They'll get 1,000 rupees once in a while. But they will land up in spending several times much more than 1,000 rupees because of 1,000 rupees mila tha. Aaj milega, kal milega, parso milega. Haan, it's just coming. I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to get it. As we just read in today's prayer number 47, not prayer number 48. Which prayer? There's a prayer where, prayer number 49. A man obsessed with the thoughts of what he thinks need to be done, intensely greedy and delighting in sense enjoyment, is suddenly confronted by you. I want to talk about this, in depth. There are three types of pride. One is called Mada, second is called Drishta, third is called Uddhanda. Probably we will not finish discussing this point today. At least I will begin this. It's already time for to get to a closure. That is why I used to always wonder when Haridas Varya says that finish something in two sessions. So maybe we can rush. That's okay. So Mada, Drishta, Uddhanda are the three types of pride. A person who is proud, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvasaha Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham Iti Manyate. When somebody thinks that I am the doer, Kartaham, then he has Vimuda. Shastra case says is the greatest, glorious, wonderful, first class fool. Okay. So which is what we are. I mean, it is like, we are, Prabhupada gives an example of decorating a dead body. A person is dead. Will somebody decorate the dead body? If somebody decorates the dead body, you will be classified. Why are you wasting your time? There is no value to that. There's absolutely zero value. Similarly, if we are trying to, work towards certain things. So the message that the second reflection that I want to, get going here is this Kalayavana is thinking. He's thinking, Krishna is just within my reach. I will just catch him. I will just catch him. Prabhupada uses the example of mirage. As you go closer, it goes one, further from there. As you go closer, it goes further from there. So a person who is materially, engrossed, so he always thinks that if I have so and so privilege and provision, I will be victorious. I will tell an interesting story and probably, end today's session there, and we will continue this from this point tomorrow. Ravana was challenged by Hanuman, and eventually the entire Vanara Sena along with Ram, Lakshman, Vibhishana, everybody came to Lanka. Now, the entire chronology, don't get into that. Let's get into the context. Ravana every day is getting a sleepless nights. His sleepless nights is so much increasing that he decided that I need to be well prepared to face the consequences of the fight, because I need to be very well prepared. What is Asuras thinking of preparedness? Asuras thinking of preparedness means if I have army men, if I have money, if I have enough natural and human resources available, then I will be able to give a good fight. What is a Vaishnava way of thinking? They think if God is there with me, I will be able to handle. The entire Ramayana, the monkeys threw stone, uprooted trees, and they won. And on the other side, people had wonderful, powerful weapons. They failed. Nobody will believe this, but that's the truth. That's what has happened. Anyway, so every day, Ravana was having a very, very gory dreams of him fighting and things like that. So he thought that this is not going to work. I cannot. Externally, he was showing like a very powerful person, but internally, he was under so much of fear. So he thought he will take the help of his, a senior in the family, Bali Maharaj. So he decided to go to Patala planet. So Ravana went to the Patala Loka, and according to the promise of Bali Maharaj, promise to Bali Maharaj, what is promise Vamanadev gave? I will be your gatekeeper. So Vamanadev told Bali Maharaj at that time itself that because of your whatever it is, I will be your gatekeeper. So when Ravana entered, he was already in so much of anxiety, confusion, and so much of things. So Ravana was entering, and one small dwarf Brahmana said, "Hey, stop! Who are you? How can you go without my permission?" Ravana was already in so much of tension. He said, "Who this guy, a small, skinny, small boy, is stopping me?" He saw a small Brahmana. Said, "Hey, I am the gatekeeper. Without my permission, you can't go in." So he, hit on Ravana's head. Ravana thought that, oh my God, this Chintu's army, I do not want to fight with them. I am going with another agenda. So he kind of, hid himself. He became invisible and walked inside. Shastra writes that because of Vamanadev's blessings, he could actually enter into the house of Bali Maharaj. Otherwise, he couldn't have entered. So even the whack that he got was actually blessings. So when Ravana went in, Bali Maharaj was welcoming. "Oh, Ravana, come. How come after such a long time, it's such a privilege to see you. So how is everything? Aaj kaisa aana hua?" Ravana cannot say that I'm so afraid, freaking out. I came here to ask for help. He said that, no, everything is okay. I just thought it's been a while. I, came to see you. So how are you? Is everything okay? So they were chit-chatting. So then Bali Maharaj said, "See, you have come after such a long time. I want to give you a gift. Okay. So please come, I will give you a gift." So Bali Maharaj took Ravana to his, court, to his lawn behind. Then he said, "Hey Ravana, you see this mountain? This mountain that you see is a huge mountain, huge. That was a mountain fully made of gold." So Bali Maharaj said, "My dear Ravana, I want to gift this mountain of gold to you." As soon as Ravana heard, he got super excited. Okay, one of the reasons he came to Bali Maharaj was he wanted to get some resources, support. And if somebody is giving you a golden mountain, so what do you want? You're super excited. So, and Ravana thought, I'm a Parakramashali. He thought of lifting that golden mountain. He couldn't even move that mountain by an inch. So he kind of didn't want to, show that he doesn't have enough strength. He said, okay, thank you. Let this mountain be here. I will send my men to collect this mountain of gold for me. Thank you so much. Then Bali Maharaj and Ravana came inside, and Bali Maharaj started talking to each other. Bali Maharaj, knowing what was going on, "Hey, I knew you have, engaged Sita. You have arrested her, and you have a challenge. Why are you, holding her back to you? You should give her back." Ravana said, "No. I want to enjoy with her. I will not give her back. No, I just, in fact, came to discuss with you to take some help from you, my dear, sir. So you should help me rather than, giving me this advice. I will help you, but I'll also give you one information. The golden mountain that I showed you, you know what? You know what is that mountain? You tell me what is the mountain. When Hiranyakashipu and Narasimhadev, when they fought between each other, when they had a fight, one of the earrings of Hiranyakashipu fell down. and this mountain is that. The earrings of Hiranyakashipu is this mountain. If this mountain that is touching the sky is the earring of Hiranyakashipu, just imagine how tall and how gigantic Hiranyakashipu would be. And that Hiranyakashipu was looking like a wasp in front of Narsimhadev, which means how big Narsimhadev would have been. And that same Narsimha has come as Rama. So now you decide, whom are you fighting with? So sometimes when we give a pictorial representation, we can get a sense of, oh my God, I am messing around with the wrong guy. Oh my God, Ravana got so much, exasperated. He was clueless. Oh my God. But then he didn't want to show, but at the same time, he couldn't digest this fact. Nashingavamana Shri Madhusudana Brajendra Nandana Shyama Utana Gatana Kaitapa Shadana Jayada Sharati Rama. So the same Narsimha has come as Rama. And this Krishna, who is giving a chase to Kalayavana, who is he? He is an avatari. He is avatar. He is a source of all the avatars. From him, all the avatars come. And this Kalayavana is thinking, oh, he is just in arm's length. Abhi pakad lunga mane. I will just catch hold of him just like that. And what I want to say is that it's the nature of those who are in the materialistic engrossed. They will think that all my materialistic accomplishments, all my claims, I will get them by my endeavor. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha vimuda. So we are going to discuss tomorrow from this point, where we are going to discuss about those three categories of pride. What is Mada? What is Drishta? What is Uddhanda? And from there, we will go. Kalayavana went, because the storyline is very simple. If you want to talk about the storyline, Jarasandha 17 times attacked. Kalayavana wanted to fight with Krishna. Kalayavana chased Krishna. Krishna went to the cave. Inside the cave, Krishna made sure that Muchukunda, who has got a boon, could burn Kalayavana. Kalayavana died. Krishna blessed Muchukunda. Katham, story is finished. But in this story, there are so many lessons. Who is Muchukunda? Why Muchukunda did such and such things? How Muchukunda started to pray? Look at the prayer's depth. So wonderful. So let's churn those point on pride. From that point, we will churn tomorrow. So that's why if we just talk about the story, it's just story may be just pretty small. Sanatana Goswami and Touchstone. How big the story is? The story is very simple, but the subject matter of the story is so detailed. Prabhupada gave one. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave lecture on the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam for 1 month or 3 months. Only first shloka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is talking to Sanatana Goswami, he is explaining one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam called Atma Ramasya Munayaha. He has given 62 different explanations. And in that particular chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami, I would encourage each and every one of you to read one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam in this manner. So one life is not enough for studying all these things. But still, we will try to do whatever best we can do tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time and association. We just did only 1.5 reflection. One reflection where we discussed about Jarasandha. We spoke about Pavarga and Apavarga and the principle of YLER. And after that, we just jumped into how Kalayavana's chasing Krishna is, compared to how the materialistic mentality, thinking that I will just get my destination, I will get my, result. But if you are not prudent enough, we will fail. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.